And the pop star wasn't even at the scene. Did you know that? No, I didn't. Well, now you do. Well, it is the start of 2013. I'm sure that everyone out there is looking to start the year off on a good note and carry through all of those goals that you want to succeed at the end of the year. Well, hopefully here to give you that kind of motivation that you need is Mr. Rinus, who's the writer of this book that's called Life Has No Meaning Until You Create It. He's also a motivational speaker from UCAN. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much. Meaning success, you know, the name. It's nice to speak to success.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you very much. But it's great to have you here. And I mean, you've dedicated a large part of your life to studying human potential and what it is that we can actually achieve through adjusting certain things in our lives. What have you found out through all of these years of study?
I think maybe the one thing that stands out for me is that beautiful saying that I am because of you. And I think many years ago, when it was your birthday, you would get a birthday card.
Yeah.
Now on Facebook, you get like hundreds of messages, and you're happy. And if something happens to you, you got people that, and we live in the connective age. You know, we are connected, and I am literally because of you. I cannot exist if you don't exist, and you cannot exist if I exist.
So we all play a big role in forming each other's worlds and each other in essence.
That for me is the essence. And if we know that, my value gives you value and vice versa, I mean, then I will take more responsibility for what I do because it has got an influence on you. And that for me is the most beautiful statement.
Now, many people have been asking the question, what is the meaning of life? And I don't know if this is an answer, but you've written a book that says life has no meaning until you create it. Tell me about the book.
I think it's an open canvas. Life is an open canvas. We make our own markings on there. We get other people to make our marks on there or make their marks on there. And all of these marks translate in some way that this is our life. That's how we create meaning. And when I wrote the book, I didn't want it to be up there. I really wanted to be practical. How do you create meaning? Because if you've got a clear canvas, then you are in control. You're not a sitting duck. You can now create meaning. You can't only be affected by life, but you can affect life. And the minute we start affecting life, that's when we feel meaningful. So that for me is the...
So let's talk about it. Here's an open canvas that essentially, let's say you have at the beginning of 2013. You've got your paint and your brush. We're all scared of making those mistakes, but how do you go about creating that positive meaning, that good meaning? What are your tips to go about this year?
I think the first one is that every single one of us needs an inoculation of positivity like every day. Just a jab every single day. You know, we are faced with the media and everything that can go wrong with us, and we are worried about crime and we're worried about... But you need that positivity every day. And I know it sounds like corny, but what do you do on a daily basis to get something that would make you feel more positive? And we all know that what you focus on makes you feel better. So, or that's where the energy goes. So I believe every day you need to either watch the show or, you know...
Checks in the mail.
Check out the beautiful people smiling and smile with them. And just do something, you know. Instead of just grinding for life, do something to feel a little bit more better about yourself. And then secondly, and people don't like it when I say this, but don't walk away from negative people. Run away from them. You know, they infect you, you know. And we all have somebody in our lives that we think, yes, if I could get away from them, spend less time with them, spend more time with the positive people.
Okay, all right.
And I think then the last tip that I like to share with you is that we cannot get what we want if we focus on what we don't want.
Okay, so you can't get what you want if you focus on what you don't want. Okay.
Because if you focus on what you don't want, I don't want a lady with short hair, I don't want her to cheat on me, I don't want... Oh, sorry, but no, I don't want a lady with long hair, whatever it is. That's where the energy goes. So if you to get what you want, you've got to focus on what you want. And I think in South Africa we make that mistake. We don't want crime, we don't want this, we don't want this. But tell me, what do you want? And if you tell me what you want, we can work out a way for you to get there. But if you tell me what you don't want, we're not going to get there.
Let's talk about a practical way in which you can implement all of these things. Is it something that you kind of wake up in the morning and you give yourself a brief moment or some time just to say, you know, let's say some people do thank yous. They wake up and they, you know, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for this, and you think of what you want in your day. Is it something as easy as that?
I think initially it is. And I think most people get up in the morning and because we create meaning through expression, they would express like, oh, what a terrible day, or look at the weather. And the weather today is beautiful in Cape Town. But, you know, people wake up and say, oh, and that sets the tone for the day. So that's my point, that even if you say that, just stop the tape. Say, let me run a positive video for at least a minute.
Yeah.
And tell myself, why do I want to be here? Why am I here? And when you start that infusing of positivity, all of a sudden, the way that you express yourself will lead you to get involved in things that will be more positive. Guaranteed, I promise you.
I love that. I mean, just looking at you, you radiate positivity where you are. I'm going to ask you to do something very, very special because we had 2 callers calling us in today and absorbing the positive vibe of the show, and we're going to give them your book, if that's okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Would you please sign 2 copies of your book, Life Has No Meaning Until
Sure.
You Create It? We're going to be sending that to Shireen and Kanisile. Congratulations, you are the winners of this wonderful book that will kickstart your 2013 in a positive life and see you succeeding in all that you do.
It's
Sir,
good one.
thank you very much. Here's another
thank
one.
you. Yeah,
and
sure.
dis lekker om iemand van Carltonville te kry hier
Ah,
op die
now
show.
you're giving it away.
Well, he does that. We're going to take a quick ad break. We'll be back with Andrea cooking up some healthy recipes.